I'm Mike, and I'm here to compare the Shimoda Design Urban Explorer 20-liter bag with the Peak Design Everyday 20-liter zip. I was looking for an everyday, like, walk around town bag that I could take to work with me, that I could throw in the car for an all day, just goofing around kind of thing. And I already own a Shimoda Design Action X30 that I love, but it's got straps everywhere and pockets everywhere, and it's got more function than I would need for just roaming around town. And it looks a little ridiculous walking around town. It looks like I came in out of the mountains right into downtown. So I was looking for something more functional. I have a 9-liter Rogue Sling from Wandered that I do love, and it worked fine for a little while, but if you spend more than a couple hours wandering around, it's not comfortable enough. That it just starts to get heavy the more you pack it, and it really does have like enough straps and expandable pockets and stuff that you can carry all kinds of shit in that thing. It's functioning way past 9 liters. However, it gets heavy on a shoulder strap. Even with the cross strap, that's supposed to help distribute the weight a little bit better. It doesn't. It gets heavy really quickly. So I needed a backpack, and I wanted this one. As soon as I heard about it, I wanted this one because I love my Action X30, and I have the first generation, so I know the new one's probably even better, and I would love it even more. But I can't justify spending more money on an adventure bag that I already have. I gotta wait till I accidentally drop that one off a cliff or something. So I wanted this one. Now, these are pretty new, so I could not find this thing without paying full price. I don't pay full price for bags. My Action X30 I bought used for $200 on Craigslist. So I wasn't going to pay $300 for this bag, which is what it's going to cost after taxes and shipping. I think it's like $275 or $289 or $299. I don't remember exactly, but it's at least $300, right? So I was looking for it used. I couldn't find it used. I looked on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, OfferUp, Poshmark. The only place I found it used was on eBay, and they were all auctions, and they were getting pretty close to full price. I think the only buy now option was like $275 plus shipping, which made it $300. So while I was waiting, I decided to get one of these Peak Design. Hey dog, hey weirdo. One of these Peak Design zips. Now, I started with a 15-liter zip, but it was actually too small. I bought it, I think I bought it for like 110, 115, again used. And I'm a bigger guy, so I have big shoulders and I have kind of a bigger back, and it just didn't fit my frame. The bottom of the bag ended up in the middle of my back. And these straps aren't the most comfortable. They're fairly thin, and they're not super long either. So the other one, this part of the strap was ending like right here, and so I had this, I don't know, the fabric and the buckle just kind of rubbed my boobies wrong, and it wasn't that comfortable. And the sternum strap on that thing came across here, and that feels like I'm getting slowly strangled. So it didn't work out for me. So I went and I got the 20-liter for $150. And these are about $200 ish. I think they're $190 or something like that, plus tax and shipping. So I saved, 25% on that, and ish, yeah. And I love it. I really do love this bag. I like the fact that you have the zipper all the way around, because one of the things I don't like about my Action X30 is that the side access, it's too centrally located first of all, you can only put it in one spot, which means that the camera cube that these come with, the Action X and this one, by the way, it has a camera cube inside. You have to build it out a certain way in order to use the side access, and that sort of limits your ability to customize it, because it has to go in a certain way or else it's not going to fit through the portal, the zipper. This one, the zipper literally goes all the way across, so I can put the camera anywhere I want. I could pull it out of this bottom pocket, I could pull it out of this, and these are completely, you know, these are all held in by Velcro, so I control exactly where everything is in this bag. It comes with two. I bought an extra one. I started using it on the bottom to give it a little more cushion on the bottom and for a place to put a battery bank under there so I could charge the camera anytime I want. But right now I have it like this so that I can control this space up top with these origami pads, you know, so I can put stuff. I don't know. I like this, and I like it on the bottom. But the point is, I can do whatever I want with that. People, I've noticed, I have yet to see a review of somebody comparing these two bags, which surprises me. They have the exact same function, and they're similar price points. I mean, obviously this one's a third cheaper than this one, but I think it's just because this one's brand new. I mean, give this one a year or two, and it's going to drop. I'm going to guess it's going to drop to about $250, $225. Especially when they come out with a version 2, this thing will probably drop to $250 easily. Whereas this one's been out for, I want to say, a couple years. I feel like I've seen a lot of reviews. The reviews I've seen on the Shimoda have mostly been influencers that have gotten the bag early. All of the reviews I've seen about it of users, 6 months old at best. So this one's been around longer, which means there are a lot more of these out there used. And they're actually, because there's a second generation of the everyday bag. I think that the everyday zip came out with the second generation. I don't think there's a first generation everyday zip, but Peak Design makes an everyday bag, and it has like a, I don't know what you would call it, the flap in the back. It's got like this latching flap that you can change. You can either make it smaller or bigger depending on how much space you need in the bag. But as far as I know, it still opens up into the same big compartment, right? So you can build this bag into whatever you want. It works, it functions as a camera bag, but you could probably just use it as an everyday bag too. If you didn't want to use the camera dividers, or you could use those camera dividers as whatever. My only issue with that, the way that the dividers work, is they don't, you can see that there's going to be space over here, right? So whatever you put in here, there is a risk of like this guy. I can't just throw this lens brush anywhere in here, or it will most likely fall down the sides there. So I keep it in this pocket, which is perfect for it anyway. And it controls it completely, still gives me easy access to it, but it's not interfering with anything, and I don't have to worry about this this thing getting squished. Although I don't know what kind of damage you're going to do. I imagine if you left it squished like this for a long enough time, it would keep it from expanding all the way, but I don't know. It seems to work out perfectly for me. Yeah, that's my only thing about that, is maybe you could put Velcro over here too, but then that would also affect the origami function of these. So I think leave it the way it is. I like it like this. If I have small things that I need to carry, I can put them in that pocket, and I can put them in this pocket here, or these little pockets here, inside of this pocket. These guys have pockets over here. This one's magnetic to keep it closed. This one's zippered, so there's plenty of room for small stuff in here. Lots of little pockets. And all of those have smaller pockets, and just all the pockets you need in this guy. But I like, another thing I like about this one is My Action X30, the side pocket entrance, you know, like the side pocket access is only on one side. This one, I can point my camera either direction, but I always point it the same direction. This is the side that I like to have my camera available to me. So I stick it in there like this, right? And I put a spare lens down here. And depending on the length of the lens, you can see I've got the origami folded over here on this side. But if the lens was bigger, I could just open that up. But this just keeps it from flopping around. Because of these and how everything's, you know, kind of layered this way, you could have your lenses flopping around if you didn't fit them in there and fold these flaps down. But that flap holds. It's not like it moves around that easily. Once I fold it down, it stays down, and it keeps this lens, which is my Tamron 17 to 28, I believe, right now. Yeah, 17 to 28, keeps it from moving around. On my camera, I have my Viltrox 85mm 1.8, excuse me, on there, and that's about the same length as my Tamron 28-200 with the hood. This is a much bigger hood. The other one is about half that size, but it's about the same. So this fits comfortably in here with room. So if you had a little bit of a longer lens, it would still fit comfortably in there. All right, you have all that control over the use of this bag. All right. When I did finally find this one used, I paid $200 for it, and it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous bag. So is this one. This is a gorgeous bag. These are great looking city bags. You know, if you're downtown with these bags, people are gonna think that guy knows how to roll downtown. They just look smooth, and the material's nice. It's water resistant. These zippers are very water resistant. This one, in fact, comes with a rain fly. This one does not, but I have rain flies if I needed to pack one with it. I'm not running around in the rain with these. I'll cover it. I haven't had need for a rain fly yet for this one, but I have one that I could easily put in one of these pockets or in the. Yeah, I could carry a rain fly with this, no problem. This one comes with its own rain fly, and it has a spot for it, but I don't like using that spot. So when this one came out, I had already been using this for several months, and had already packed it out the way I liked it, had already gotten used to it, had already bought the extra divider, so I loved it, right? And I don't know if it's because of that, but as soon as I got this bag, I was disappointed. As much as I wanted to love it, I was hunting for this. I had to work so hard to find this bag. The most difficult part of getting this bag was, one, realizing that I needed the 20 rather than the 15, and deciding whether I wanted the everyday bag or the everyday zip. I just like the aesthetics of the everyday zip better than the everyday bag. My Action X30 has the roll top, and the roll top, the flap, both of those, it seems like it takes away from the smoothness of the back of the backpack, you know? That's one thing I've always liked about those motorcycle backpacks, is that, but they're shells, but they're like, it's like a smoothness to it. I like that. My cycling, my favorite cycling commuter bag, my Osprey, has got a very smooth look to it, so I like that. Very aerodynamic looking. I don't know why it needs to be aerodynamic, but I like it. So that was the hardest decision about that. This one, it was hard to find for less than full price. So when I found it for $200, I jumped on it, and then had to drive a couple hours to go get it. And so paying $200, taking forever to find one, having to sit in traffic for a couple hours, I was immediately kind of disappointed. And I'm going to go through that. First of all, it's not like I had them sit next to each other. This was in the car. This one, you know, I was taking from the guy, and I could tell immediately that this bag is significantly smaller than this bag. Look at how much shorter it is. Just like that. And I could tell, not even next to each other. When he handed me this bag, I was like, this is a 20-liter bag? That seems small, right? I thought, okay, well, they must pack everything in perfectly, right? But even this way, you know, it's smaller. It's smaller. It's shorter slightly. You can tell that it's this part, it's thicker on this side than this side, which by the way affects the water bottle pocket. Look at how much bigger this water bottle pocket is. And it's magnetic, which keeps it from laying open. This one does not open. It seems like this is about half the size. Water bottle pocket is just, I cannot comfortably fit my Clean Canteen water bottle in here and then use anything inside of here. Uh-oh, if I can even get it open. Okay, look. See how it swells in there? That's gonna affect my camera in there. I do not want my camera leaning up against the side of a water bottle like that. So tightly. And on this side, I tried putting it in here, and look what happens. Once you do that, this pocket becomes completely unusable. You can't put anything in there. And by the way, look, if I try to put this in now, it's not a secure fit. That thing feels like it's going to slide out really easily. Whereas this guy, plenty of room. And it sits in there the same depth, I guess. And look at how much more space there is. And I don't know, it just feels more secure in here. And it doesn't affect these inside pockets at all. I have my batteries down here. I can still use this pocket. It's not going to be up against the camera. You can see that. Yeah, so these water bottle pockets pretty much useless. And they have these compression straps, which you can connect up here, right, and detach them, but you can't detach it down here. It's in there, right? So the only thing you can do to hide this away is either cross the zipper like this and leave it out here, which makes the zipper, gives you a little bit troubled access to the zipper, or there's a place down on the bottom where you can hook it, and then that hides it away. But guess what? Now good luck keeping your water bottle in there, because that thing is right there. I guess this thing fits okay, but it just doesn't feel secure. I mean, look at that space there. It just feels like this thing, as soon as I lean over, it's just going to come flying out. This one, it just holds it better. I don't know, it just feels a little snugger. I don't know. Maybe they're both. This one, maybe the water bottle pockets aren't the best for water bottles. I mean, I would probably use the cross strap if I was going to really, but this pocket is more useful than this pocket. This pocket doesn't feel secure, and it feels way too small. That right there, I'm afraid that if I put my keys in here, they're going to fall right out. This one, at least with the magnet keeping it closed, I'm not worried about my keys falling out, or if I tuck my phone in there. You know, if I tuck my phone in this one, forget about it. Water bottle wise, this is my bigger Clean Canteen. I have a shorter one that feels more secure in both of them, I guess, but I just don't like how tight it makes this bag and pushes into the camera cube. And this pocket, by the way, is there's no function to this outside of being the side access pocket. I guess you could put something in here, but that seems really awkward, you know? I want to be able to reach in. I don't want to have to open it all the way up and dig into it like that to get something out of it. You know, I don't know why they couldn't add that kind of pocket to maybe the flap of this one. And this thing, it's fine, but you could put, you know, you could put little pockets on both sides if you wanted to, since this is a closed part. Then people could choose which side they wanted to put stuff in, and this pass-through is useless. I don't need to keep my power bank out here, and I don't need this for straps. You know, this feels like an old JanSport fucking school bag kind of thing right here. I can easily just put my power bank in the cube and just run it right to the camera. That other thing doesn't, I don't know, because even with, you're still gonna have to feed it. I guess you'd have to feed it out through the top too, because you couldn't feed it right across because of the frame, and the frame of the cube would keep it from comfortably. I could see your fucking cable getting pinched and bent. Yeah, you would want to feed it up through the top and down inside. Whereas if you just put your power bank in here and feed it right to the camera, it's you don't need more space for the power bank. So like I was saying, I can't use the side access on this guy, so I keep playing with it because I want to be able to keep my camera right with a lens on it and have space for an extra lens. And if I did that with the side access, I would have to put the camera in the middle in order to reach it, because you can't reach it. I don't even have it set up that way. If I put it down here where I want it, the frame is awesome. The frame really does make this bag so comfortable, and I kind of don't know why, because I think it's just, the frame goes right around here, right? So I would think that these guys, if they wanted to, they could build a frame inside of here pretty easily that would help distribute the weight a little bit, you know? The same way that this one has a frame, because this one doesn't even go around the bottom, as far as I can tell, no? Yeah, you guys could have a frame if you wanted to. The frame's great, but with the side access, I would have to move the camera. Oh, wait a minute. Are you open? It was open. I would have to move the camera because I can't pull it out here because of this. Because of the way that the side access panel is built. It doesn't, I don't know why they didn't just make it square, you know, and make it fit all the way across. This one gives you access to the entire bag from top to bottom from the side. This one gives you this little window here, and for a camera, it gives you an even smaller portion of this to pull your camera in and out of. And that just isn't useful to me. So I don't need this side access pocket, which makes this pocket pretty much useless to me. Because if I was to center my camera, it would take away from the space for these lenses. See, this lens would not fit on this side, and it doesn't really fit well on this side because of this. So I need it to be on the all the way on the outside of the camera to feel comfortable putting in, because I can also put my 28 to 200 in here and it'll fit just fine, but I wouldn't be able to put my 28 to 200 in here and I wouldn't be able to have that lens and this lens in this thing on the camera. I would have to somehow separate them from the camera to be able to use the side access, and then what's the point? Because then you'd be digging once for your camera and once for your lens. So this is how I packed it out. Right there. And the rainfly actually has a pocket down here, but what that does is it makes the bottom of the bag lumpy. Now when it arrives, it's perfectly folded and flat basically, but look at the lump on the bottom of this thing. You can see it. That's going to keep the bag from being able to sit flat. There's no chance of it. Now this bag isn't designed to sit flat, so it doesn't matter. This one is designed to be able to sit flat because of the squareness of the bottom of the cube, but in order to do that, you can't have the rainfly down there. So I use this, which I think is for your air pad. I use that, that's where I put the rainfly. Yeah, like that. Zippers are amazing on this bag. I mean, that is so smooth. And these guys too have very smooth zippers. Catches a little bit on that corner. I'm not usually into this side. I'm usually just into this part right here. Like that. And this one up here, which very smooth zipper. All right, now let's go into the top storage. Okay. Now, first of all, I noticed immediately that I have the same amount of room in this extra pocket here, right? This little spandex pocket behind the main pocket. I have as much room there as I do in the entire amount of storage for this one outside of the cube. Look at that. And yeah, it does encroach on this space a little bit, but it's controlled, so it doesn't fill that space and it's not moving around in that space. It takes up a little bit of it, but you still have all this room in here to work with. This one, you got, I can't understand what the point of this is. First of all, this flap here is supposed to protect your laptop, and I have the smallest laptop. I mean, even with the case, this is a MacBook Air. They don't get any smaller than that. And that thing, oh, where are you? Oh, up here. That thing, I really have to squish it in there, first of all. And that flap, what is it protecting it from? I mean, the bag itself is got plenty of cushion. What are you putting in here that's going to damage your laptop? Nothing. So this is just another padding, a padded flap that's taking up what little real estate you have in this pocket. Useless. One more motion you have to do to get to your laptop, which now, by the way, takes up any usable space out of this pocket here. I mean, which already, even without the laptop, right? This pocket's not very big. You could maybe put a shirt in there, but good luck trying to stick like a puffy jacket in here. It would totally ruin the aesthetic of this bag. It'd just be a huge lump coming out of the back of it. This one, I could roll up a puffy and stick it in there. And this is where the laptop goes, which I prefer that anyway. I like having and it's got actually, so this is for your laptop, which is adjustable up to, I think they said, a 15-inch. And your AirPad, I guess, but my 13-inch fits into the smaller one, right? Or in the big one, which is adjustable, by the way. It's got like a Velcro thing where you can pull the bottom up to make it shorter so that it, you know, if you have a smaller laptop like mine, it sits closer to the top and it's not, you don't ever have to worry about it hitting the ground. And I like having it up against my back. I think I mentioned that. I don't like having the weight of my laptop out on the outside of the bag because it just seems like it's pulling out, even with the frame. Okay, so let's get into this pocket here, right? This space right here, this space, which is behind the camera space, is as much space as every bit of usable space in this bag. This thing is not big. And it has another pocket in here that, forget about it. If you put anything in this pocket, you're never gonna get around it to get into the stuff that's in your big pocket. This is also where the super secret hidden AirTag pocket is, which who gives a shit? That thing is not hidden at all. You can feel right there, and if you had an AirPad in there, you're gonna know. Like, if I hold this down, you would see a little swollen spot where my AirTag was. In fact, what I think they should do is this other hidden pocket back here. Which you can't even, the zipper is such a pain in the ass. I mean, like, this is supposed to be your passport pocket, but God forbid you're smuggling drugs. You're going to be too nervous to get into your passport pocket. It's got this little passport pocket here, right? Which is not really hidden, because if anybody was looking for valuables, they're going to feel that. Make that your AirTag pocket, because if you did want it hidden, you could somehow make this a flush zipper, right? Or Velcro, or some, I don't know, you could make it some kind of, you could make it secret. And you could, have to pry it open a little bit, stick your AirTag in there. No one would ever look in this cushion for an AirTag. They're gonna notice an AirTag in here and they're gonna pull it right out and throw it in the trash. Whereas this one, if you stuck your AirTag in here, they're gonna walk around with your stolen bag and they're not gonna know that you're following 6 feet behind them with a golf club. No secret AirTag pocket in here. You just have to make your own secret AirTag pocket. All right, straps. I love these straps, just like I love my Action X30 straps. Are so comfortable. These aren't as comfortable, but again, this is a 20-liter bag. I'm not packing this thing full of gear. This thing shouldn't weigh more than 10 pounds on my back, and these straps are fine with the sternum strap, and I bought the waist strap. These are fantastic. The sternum strap is fine. It's got the cool magnet, right? Wait, is it this way? No, this way. All right, that's cool. But here's my problem. This sternum strap is removable because you clip it in and you can pull both sides out. It takes a little more work to pull out the part that you're not supposed to be moving much, but you can pull it out and pull that one out and tuck it into a pocket somewhere. And because of that, even though this one, when you're using it, is attached on this side, right? When you're not using it, you can attach it to the same side, and now it's not flopping around. This one does not have that. That thing is always, if you're running from the cops and you don't have time to attach your magnet, right? If you're not quick enough, you're gonna hit yourself in the face with your buckle while you're running from the law. This one, forget about it. I'm ready to rock. You'll never catch me, coppers. Why couldn't you take that little magnet thing and make one more and put it on the same side so you could just attach it, plink, like that, right? And that way it's just there. And then it would hang like this, and you could run from the cops with no trouble. Like this one. Don't know why. I also don't, I'm so used to having the sternum strap on a runner like this, but I also get used to having, by the time the end of the day comes around, I've got one side of the sternum strap is high and one side is low, and I've got a strap going across my body like this. This one, instead of a runner, there's 1, 2, 3 different positions that you can have it in, and I don't know why you need more than that. It doesn't affect me, and it makes it much more easy to know where the strap is according to my body as I'm looking down. Maybe it's because I'm a thick guy. I don't know. But on this one, and I like things to be symmetrical, so I end up playing with this I want it to be even. So that's, yeah. This back pad, I love this back pad too. It's just, it's substantial. It's cushiony. This one's not so much. But again, with the waist strap, it distributes the weight just fine. This is meant more as a pass-through for luggage rather than much extra padding for protection for your back. This one's designed for your back, right? But this one also is as short as a 15-liter of this one. So this ends up in the middle of my back. So if I did actually get a waist strap that you could get and fit in here, it'd be up like over my belly button. So I love the padding, I love the straps, but it's too small. The straps are perfect. These straps are perfect, but by the way, these adjustments are useless because how thick these straps are, if you actually did adjust it, if you did adjust the length of the strap, look what it does. Now you've got, I mean, if you're a person who needs a shorter strap, now you've got this, you're dealing with that shit? How is that going to be any more comfortable than just having a longer strap? So these strap adjustments really don't do any good. The way that it's set up on the other one, on my Action X30, is the straps are controlled behind, you know, they're controlled, the length goes down, so the extra length is down your back instead of scrunched up on your shoulders. This, no bueno. Also, this pass-through, like I like the side handle on this guy, how it's actually, it pops back into place, right? This one doesn't have that. This one, they're just handles, and you can tell this one's the one I use more often as I'm throwing this into the car, and that's why it's more bowed than this one. But I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I do like this one better, except that it's only on one side. I don't have a choice as to which, like when I'm driving, I pull my backpack off and I throw it in the passenger seat off of my left shoulder, right? So I want to be able to pull it off, grab the handle, and toss it, like this one. Grab the handle, toss it in the passenger seat, just like that. I cannot do that with this one. I can't pick it up that way either. I have to, why not, for $300, have a handle on both sides? And why is this handle so awesome? And this handle is it's like a tiny little strip of fucking seatbelt material strapped on last second. Like this thing was going out the door and they go, you know what we should do? We should put a bottom strap. You could have added a little bit of material on the bottom, right? And then made one more of these down here. And it would have looked better. It would have functioned better. This, I mean, yeah, I wish this guy had a bottom strap. But I'm glad this one doesn't have a bottom strap like this. Because it just, look at that. Look at that. That's ugly. This one, very cool. I mean, I don't like how it's inside the water bottle pocket. I don't know why that's necessary. I mean, it looks cool, but it does fuck with the function a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Just, I guess I could see this, I don't know. I don't like any, inside of this pocket, I don't like stuff moving around a lot, you know? I want to be able to put something in here and not worry about it getting pulled on by anything. So yeah, but I do still like this one better than this one, but why not on both sides? Because I would never use this side. I use this side for some reason. For some reason, I pull it off of this shoulder and I swing it around this way. This is the shoulder that my bag comes off of, not this shoulder, right? Which is also why when I'm pulling my camera out, it's coming down this shoulder and the camera comes out like this. Can't do it down here. It would have to come down this shoulder and out of this pocket. And then maybe it's because it's from Japan and they drive on that side of the car that it makes sense that it comes off this shoulder and they're throwing it in the passenger seat like that. But you're selling it all over the world. These guys, I don't know where Peak Design is, but if it's from England, they drive on that side and they still said, you know what? We've got Americans and Canadians. Let's put a strap on both sides. Not these guys. These guys said, you're going to fucking use the strap the way we tell you to use it. So, what else? In pocket, anti-pocket. Oh, capture clip. Okay, so this one doesn't, even though it's Peak Design, they didn't make a place where you could hook the capture clip. So I have to put it up above here, and then the metal piece is up against my body, right? Which does, you can feel it, and it will rub, and eventually it will get uncomfortable. after hours and hours. So I actually will use the waist strap if I'm going to keep the camera on the outside, right? If I'm just transporting the camera, I don't bother. If I'm carrying the camera around for the day, I use the waist strap, and then I have there's a place on the waist strap where you can put the capture clip here. They put it on the strap, which is a great idea. And I don't know why it's taken so long to think of that idea. However, look at how cheap that looks. This and this were the last two things that they did to this bag. I guarantee it. And it was an afterthought. And that's what it looks like, an afterthought. This strap is exactly this strap right here. The inside of this one and this one, they're the same. This strap is now thicker than this one because instead of integrating this capture clip strap into the strap that was on it somehow and making it look cool or making it look even nice at all, they just added an extra piece of material. And I don't understand. It's like just an extra layer of material that they put over the top of it. And I mean, like if you close your eyes, you can absolutely feel this strap is thicker because they added that. And totally not necessary to make it that big. You could make it just a little, because that capture clip is only this, it's only that big. You could have put, if you're going to make just a little piece of extra material, just put like one little band of extra material. You didn't have to make this huge. This is like a handle, and it's ugly, and it doesn't add anything but that function, And for $300, I want function and design. You're called Shimoda Design, not Shimoda Function. Yeah, so I think you can probably tell already, but I am a huge fan of the Peak Design Zip, and I am not a fan at all of the Shimoda Urban Explorer because there's not enough usable space in here outside of the camera cube. It is a good-looking camera cube with shoulder straps is what this bag is, and that makes it, in my opinion, a $100 bag. Let's say even $150, because their most expensive camera cube is $100. So let's add $50 for the straps and the padding and make this $150 camera cube with straps. But that's not what it is. It's a $300 backpack, and I think it's because of this right here. $100 bag, $300 bag. This one is a $200 bag and worth it. If I would pay $200 for this bag. I paid $150 and I got a great deal. I would pay $200 for this bag. I wouldn't even pay $150 for this bag because of the total lack of function. If I was carrying stuff all day and I was carrying a lot of shit, I would carry my Action X30. This one, I like when I'm out around town, I want to be able to, pick up a knickknack for my wife, like a candle or some jewelry or something. This thing, other than a pair of earrings, nothing would fit in here. And God forbid I had anything in here like snacks, or a Red Bull or something. I couldn't fit anything else in this bag. I wouldn't trust anything fragile in this pocket here that isn't going to get smashed. This one, the pocket has so much space, and it can have as much space as I make it. If I want to carry one lens for the day and put a bunch of shit in here, fine. And I have access to it no matter what. But this one, I don't have access to everything all at once. Like if I open up the cube, I only have access to the cube. I can't now get into the other stuff, right? I can get into this, but I don't have access to the camera. This one, you have access to everything all at once. Yeah, so there's no such thing as a perfect bag. This one, the security on this is not fantastic because the zipper does open up, and there's actually 4 different zippers that run on this one zipper line. I don't know what these things are called. I just call the whole thing a zipper, but there's 4 of these, so you can move it around wherever you need it. You know, if you want them up top in the middle, great. Go ahead and do that. If you want them on this side, you want them on this side, you want them down here, you know, anywhere you want, you can have your access point. These two are meant to be, I think, kind of stable. So I actually kind of think you kind of only needed 2 zippers for this thing. These, I guess, you know, I guess if you wanted to access that one and then access this side really quickly, you could. But what I did was I used the contact points for the compression straps that you can use to put like a jacket or something on the outside of that if you pack it up too much. And those straps also, there's an attachment right here and here, so that you can attach something to hold in like your, you know, your extra large water bottle or your tripod, you know, your travel tripod that would fit in there, or your flashlight stun gun, which I'm not gonna zap and scare the dog. You know, you can put a couple things in here, and I don't know. This one, the compression straps only go in one way. That's it. And you can't strap anything to the outside of this bag. So, God forbid you need an extra layer. You know, this one, it's just, it's a better designed bag, and maybe it's because they already had the everyday bag. You know, but I guess I would consider the Shimoda Design Explorer their everyday bag, I guess, like their travel bag, you know, like their I don't know, because these guys have a travel bag too. But this one doesn't have a place, in my opinion. It's just it just lacks a functionality. Yeah, this is the right bag. This one, not yet. And I know Shimoda Design is going to make this thing perfect on the next one, and that's fantastic. And I can't wait to see it, and I'm sure I'm going to get just as obsessed about that one as I was about finding this one, but it better be significantly different, because I felt ripped off here, to be honest. You know, because Shimoda, you haven't been around that long as far as camera bags. I don't know what they did before that, but they came out like gangbusters